on the earth, but he's held captive. Don't press me. He's not what you elected him to be, and he's not free to be the man that he might want to be. That's a bold statement, Farrakhan. Here's our mayor. You voted for him. He ain't free to be what he wants to be. He's constricted and constrained by other forces. Ask him and he will tell you the truth. That's why he's getting the hell out of it. Come on, Mr. Mayor. And this is why black people are losing hope in politics. You voted for him. And the powers that be didn't like the fact that you sent him back. So they began to strip away the power of your vote, like they're doing in Congress right now. Some of my friends in Congress said, this is a coup d'etat. A bloodless coup. The best way to find security is to find it in obedience to God. And this is what the word Muslim means. You say, I ain't no Muslim. I don't want to be no Muslim. But if I said, yo quiero mucho dinero, and I want to give you some. You don't understand Spanish, but you say, what is mucho dinero? Oh, money, I'll take all you want to give. Ich habe Geld. I have money. That poor guy got a disease. Ich habe Geld. But if you understand language, you say, I got money. Oh, that's all right. Can I loan some? I am a Muslim. And so are you. You may not know it. You say, no, I'm not a Muslim, I'm a Christian. Yes, I know, that's what you say. I'm not dealing with a name that is thick to you. Listen to me carefully, dear Christian. Please don't think I'm anti-Christian. Don't do that. That's a name affixed to your faith. Jesus never said, I am a Christian. You can't find that in the Bible. It's just not there. It was the enemies of Paul and Jesus at Antioch that called the followers of the Christ Christians. I'm not saying it's a bad name now. It is a good name. But that's not your nature. See, God. Oh, let me just stop a minute. Oh, no. Look. A cat comes in the world. You don't have to teach the cat to say meow. I have a little lamb on the farm. We watched it come to birth. I fed it its milk. Ain't nobody ain't told the lamb how to say bye. Nobody has to teach you what God created you to be. That's the nature in which he created you. And if you are left alone, you be what God created you to be. See, faith, and listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. The Bible didn't come to give you faith. Revelation comes to guide you back to the faith that you have lost. That's why you sing the song, give me that old time religion. And the old time religion is the nature in which you are created. You are created in the nature to obey the Creator. He didn't just say it. That is in your nature, your very being. Can you prove it, Parker? Sure. I know most of you hip ones, scholarly ones, you don't pray. You don't remember God till you get in some serious trouble and you know you can't get out of it. Then you recognize faith. And you say, Lord, you ain't been praying, but you know his name. Tunkashula. Lord, Jehovah, God, by whatever name, please help me get out of this mess that I'm in. And if you just get me through this, you bargaining with God. If you just get me through this, I'll serve you for the rest of my days. Because in your nature, you are born to serve the Creator who created you. He created you to serve his cause and his will. That's in your nature. You call it Judaism, you call it Christianity, you call it Islam, but the nature of it is bow down and serve God. All right. So, when you obey God, he makes you secure. Then you enter into peace. And you become a peacemaker. But once you disobey what is right, when you go contrary by answering the lust of your flesh, your nature tells you you've done wrong, and when you do wrong, you got to hide from the light, hide from the truth, because now there's shame attached, there's guilt attached, because your nature told you that what you did was wrong. And to escape the consequence of sin or default in duty, when we are asked anything pertaining to wrong or default in duty, we lie. There's only two reasons to lie: sin and default in duty. Every one of you got a job, you got something to do. The boss tells you, look, I want you to do something, so. He comes back, did you do it? Well, you know, see, I was on the phone and the vice president over here called me and see, you start lying, start covering up. Did you do it or didn't you? And you know what? To be very honest, I don't see no man that is worthy for me to lie to. You know, say, if I lied to you, that means I'm scared of some consequence that you got for me. You're not worthy for me to lie to. And if you ask me questions that I don't want to answer, I tell you it's none of your business. I ain't take no Fifth Amendment, and it just ain't none of your business. Look, man, in this world, if you don't have courage enough to resist the devil, then you will always be found wanting. All right. Lying is a natural instinct when we are disobedient to God. So, we perfect the art of lying and deception. Some of us lied today. Some of us lied yesterday. Some of us planning to lie tomorrow. Okay. And you know why you lie? You know why the little child lies? Did you take that cookie? The cookie crumbs is all over their mouth. No, I didn't take it, Mommy. Johnny, are you lying? No, ma'am. No. How did you get those crumbs on your mouth? I don't know. But why did the child lie? Because you told him don't eat the cookie. He knew he disobeyed, he wrong. So his backside don't want pain. He's trying to escape a consequence. No, I didn't do it, Mommy. I had one of these strong West Indian mothers. And I never was too good at lying. Because she caught me every time. And then she would beat me for what I did. And when I thought it was over, she said, no. I'm going to beat you for the lie you told. And then she would whoop me more for the lie. And then she said, you know, a liar will steal. And a thief will murder. So if I could cut you off with the lie, I'll stop you from thieving and murder. All right, I'm almost finished. Now, morality is based on observance of duty. Morality is based on obedience to the will of God and that which is good. That's true morality. But one of the worst forms of hypocrisy is the hypocrisy of self-righteousness. See, the self-righteous person sees themselves as better than someone that ought to be condemned. This hypocrisy of self-righteousness makes the self-righteous person to want full punishment for any sinner except themselves, because they're blinded to their own unworthiness in the eyes of God. If I polled the members of Congress and asked them, have you lied? They would say, well, I have never lied under oath. And that's a lie. I'm asking a question. Is the consequence of a lie told outside of a courtroom or outside of a grand jury or outside of a deposition less damaging? Or is the consequence of a lie told in court more damaging? Man has said if you lie under oath, you committed perjury. Therefore, this is the consequence, so much and so much time. Well, what about lies that are told but not under oath? Do you mean to say you can dismiss a lie told outside of a courtroom that doesn't appear to be unlawful, and then hold somebody's foot to the fire because they lied in court when the nature of the lie is the same, to protect an individual from the consequences of their inappropriate and wrongful behavior or their failure or default in duty? Now let's look at President Clinton. He lied. Wait. He admitted he lied. Okay? He lied. Perjury. I want to get a definition here that I would like to look at. Perjury. The deliberate, willful giving of false, misleading, or incomplete testimony under oath. But there's another meaning. The breach of an oath or a promise. All right. Mr. President, did you do this? Well, you know, poor man, he's being deposed over Miss Jones. He don't know that Mr. Starr is about to entrap him on that which had no business in the grand jury at all. Now wait. I'm going to take a little drink of water. Who is Lucianne Goldberg? Who is Monica Lewinsky? Who is Linda Tripp? Jeff Greenfield of CNN raised the question, could it be that she could have been working for a foreign power? Nobody ever came back and even entertained the thought. Look at the timing. President has Arafat and Netanyahu in Washington. He's about to put pressure on Netanyahu to give up more land to the Palestinians. In fact, he refused to see him. Netanyahu goes and meets with the religious right. Pat Robertson, Jerry Falwell. I'm not exposing nothing. I'm just saying what happened. The Pope of Rome is in Cuba. The biggest story of the year when His Holiness the Pope is visiting a communist country and Fidel Castro is giving the Pope permission to address his people. The world press is there. All the top anchors are there. But there are those who didn't like the fact that His Holiness the Pope went to Cuba. So they dropped the bombshell. Boom! And when they dropped that bombshell, all the anchors came back from Cuba, and there's been a feeding frenzy on this since then. I'm not going into the definition of sexual intercourse, but if you consult your dictionary, that which is other than coitus could be termed foreplay. Did you touch? Did you feel? So in the definition given by Judge Weber, right, and in his own mind, since he did not enter this woman, he could use that as part of the fig leaf. Now listen, look at me. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I'm not making no mockery. See what was in his mind. You say he lied. But you see, cases are won on how words are used and on the interpretation of language. Although the statement in the narrow sense of coitus is true, in the broader sense it is misleading and false. But a clever lawyer can give an interpretation of words that is different from the prosecutor's terms, yet accurate in terms of the meaning of the word. You say he was wrong, he was using words and language to slip and slide. Well, what did you expect him to do? That was a fig leaf. Come on now. Somebody on television today said, well, he was talking about ears, and that's a shame. He just ought to tell the truth. Well, ears means a present state. He's telling them, I am not in any relationship with her at the present time since you used the word ears. That's clever use of language. This is why Clarence Darrow won all of his cases, because of his mastery of the English language, using definitions that could defend, while the prosecutor was using definitions that could convict. So the wise usage of words and their meaning caused Clarence Darrow to win every case that he fought. Every case. You know, anybody that knows law, and I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a defender of truth. You know that the grand jury is set up to aid prosecutors. What comes out of a grand jury is nothing more than an indictment that has never been tested by cross-examination. Linda Tripp, Miss Lewinsky's friend, without her knowledge, illegally take her. Who told her to do that? Or did she do it on her own? These are questions that have to be put to Miss Tripp. Miss Tripp, what possessed you to take the tape after you recorded it and bring it to Judge Starr? Judge Starr knows that the woman did it illegally, but he seized upon it. I'll get him now. I got him. He broadsided the president. Dropped Monica Lewinsky on him, boom, and he said, he threw the fig leaf up right away. He lied, he covered. Then Mr. Starr said, we got him. Got him. So he sends thousands of pages up to Congress. Look at you, Congress. Do you know that in a civilized society, one of the things that has to be protected is the water supply? You don't dump sewage into the water supply and expect the population to stay healthy. One of the first things you teach anybody in a home is to secure your garbage. Seal your garbage. Take it out during garbage collection time, but don't let your garbage stay around because rats. Maggots and flies, carriers of disease, will come up when you're careless about your garbage. Here is garbage dumped in the life of the people.
Stay tuned for part 3.
Seal your garbage. Take it out during garbage collection time. But don't let your garbage stay around because rats, maggots, and flies, carriers of disease will come up when you're careless about your garbage. Here is garbage dumped in the life of the people from the highest office in the land. That didn't have to happen. He could have said all of that. But let's get back to Miss Tripp. President gave her a blue dress, and there was a semen stain on it. And she said, I'm going to clean it because I'm going to wear all Monica. You look rather fat in that dress. I wouldn't wear that dress. In fact, I would put it away in a safe deposit box because one day it might be used as evidence. Something funny going on here. It's deeper than what meets the eye. But the American people and the Congress cannot question deep enough because they're all sold out. Now I'm going to prove what I say. There are presidents of the United States that have lied after they took their oath of office, but not necessarily in a court of law, but they have breached their oath. They have committed perjury. They were never impeached, and their memory has not been sullied to this point. When a president or an elected official takes an oath of office, why do they raise their right hand and put their left hand on the scriptures of the Bible? Why is the Bible used at all? I believe it is because the Bible is represented as a book of law and a book of truth. There are two great laws in this book. The law of the Ten Commandments, which permeates the Old Testament, and the law of love, which the Gospel and the New Testament is based on. So when you put your hand on the Bible, raise your right hand and swear that I'm going to uphold the Constitution, the laws of the state. The hand on the Bible is verifying that the right hand of the individual would uphold not only the Constitution of the state or the country's laws, but the connection of the right hand to the left and the left on top of the Bible should signify that the oath of office would also require that the person must uphold the truthful principles and the law contained in the scriptures and live up to the character and the principles of righteousness that are found in the book that you place your dirty hand on. If that is the case, then all members of Congress could be sat down. I didn't say some. All. 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 Because they perjured themselves in front of their constituents and the people that they claim to represent. Taking an oath of office and then lying to the American people. Most of these Congress people have become pawns of big business, pawns of moneyed interests, while they yet proclaim to uphold the Constitution and represent their constituents. They have become representatives of big money, and your vote means nothing. Money pays for their vote. Have they perjured themselves? Does the Bible teach man to lie and steal and murder in the name of corporate profit? Talk to me. Does the Bible teach a morality that is only functional in certain circumstances, but when the nation's self-interest is involved, the representatives of government can lie, the nation can steal, the nation can murder, the nation can summon the young men to go to war on false pretenses, the nation can pillage and do in the name of self-interest what it wants and call it morality? Is that the real acceptance of an oath of office or an oath of public service? When I accept to abide by the Constitution, my hand is not on the Constitution. My hand is on the Bible. Then should I not be held to the principles of the book as well as the principles of the Constitution? Is it right that America, government, should make others suffer to improve the quality of life of the American citizens by any means necessary? Is that really moral? Come on now, I want you to listen to me. Now, the president of the country may be impeached because of sexual liaison or foreplay that engaged in and lied about it in the Oval Office. And some are saying he disgraced us because he did it in the Oval Office. What a shame. But destruction of kings and rulers of the earth were okayed from that same office. From that same office, orders were given to assassinate leaders and teachers who opposed corporate expansion and fought against corporate greed. But this is okay because it increased the bottom line of multinational corporations. But is this living up to the oath of office? How many women did the founding fathers of the United States have? Did George Washington have many? I don't see no white people named Washington. I see all these black folks named Washington. That means that George Washington had slaves. Did George Washington go into the women who were his slaves and produce children from them? What about Ben Franklin, Thomas Paine, Alexander Hamilton, and Thomas Jefferson? You see, when you know the personal morality of these men, when these men sat down and wrote high crimes and misdemeanors, do you think that they were thinking about having sex? And if anybody asks, Tom Jefferson, I know you're one of the leading contributors to the writing of the Constitution. Did you father some illegitimate children? Wait a minute. How many of them? And according to what I heard Gary Spence say on television, he didn't even have the goodness of heart to even mention his own children in his will. Do you think these people that went in and out of our women giving us all these colors, do you think they're thinking about sex as a high crime and a misdemeanor? Do you think that these congressmen that used to go on Friday night down in the district where all the prostitutes were and spend the weekend with whores, do you think that they were thinking about sex as a high crime and a misdemeanor? They had wives, they had families, and if somebody like a Judge Starr had questioned them, would they have told the truth? Hell no, they would have lied. so. I'm almost finished. Now listen, just a minute. It's Friday night. When I finish, the panel is going to raise questions and make statements. And then I would like the audience, a few questions from the audience. I want to submit myself to questioning because this is a very important subject. The country is in deep trouble. And somebody has to help raise the sight beyond the field where it is being played right now. Self-righteous hypocrisy of religious and political leaders is sickening. For all of us have fallen short of the glory of God. All of us, in our thoughts of our righteousness, the Bible says, all our righteousness is as filthy rags before God. So is there any member of Congress that does not need a washing? Is there any member of the media that does not need washing and atonement? Is there any member of the clergy that does not need to avail himself or herself of the mercy of God? No, not one. All of us stand in need of atonement. Are lies only punishable when spoken, when one is deposed or in a grand jury setting in a court of law? Lies are told daily and hourly by human beings all over America and throughout the world. Do they not bring consequences as well? To punish the president on the notion that he perjured himself on something that should never have been brought to the level in the first place. Does that mean we can excuse all the lies that wreck homes and families and communities and wreak havoc on the nation? Farrakhan, are you defending the president? No. I'm defending truth. And the truth will free the president, and the truth will free this nation and put this nation on a better course. If the Bible teaches that we are born in sin and shaped in iniquity, well, that means all of us are liars, because all of us got something to cover up. Hello. There are a few lies that were told to further self-interest by presidents of the United States. Did President Johnson tell a lie after swearing to uphold the Constitution? Did he lie after putting his hand on the Bible and cause 500,000 American soldiers to be sent to Vietnam? Did he tell a lie that caused American taxpayers to lose billions and billions of dollars in the Vietnam War, from which the economy has not yet fully recovered? Did he tell lies that caused the loss of thousands of American lives and the ruin of hundreds of thousands more? And yet, he's a good president. No impeachment for him. Don't even besmirch his memory. Give him a high place in history because he worked out well for those who wanted war at the expense of the poor. This is a lie that has caused great suffering. I'm not saying that President Clinton's lying or fudging the truth or misleading statements have not hurt someone, but not to the degree of others. Not yet to the degree of the liars who went before him. I disagree with President Clinton vehemently in the bombing of the Sudan and Afghanistan so that it would take away from his own personal failure. He would bring harm to people that can't fight him back to protect themselves. That is far worse than what he did with Monica Lewinsky. This is a president that was voted into office by the majority of the black voters. But since he's been in office, what has he done for black people? He's put more black people in the administration than any president before him. Let's give him a hand. That's it. Look. Just brought more house slaves into the house. That's all right. But what did he do for the little black man? We do not mind welfare reform. Welfare needs to be reformed. But where's the safety net, Mr. Clinton? You didn't put the safety net there, but you helped to destroy many, many people who depended on that. You didn't retrain them for jobs in the economy. You just took the prop out from under them, but you never gave them a safety net. We do not mind a change in public housing, but did you build adequate housing to replace those whom public housing displaced? No, you didn't do that, Mr. President. What about affirmative action? Mr. President, you crushed that. Yet, all that you have done against us, and you've done worse to us than Bush, than Reagan, because under Bush and Reagan, welfare was there. Affirmative action was there. They were moving to cut it. So what did you do, Mr. President? You were in the center. Then you started moving more toward the right to capture the Democrats that were becoming Republicans. So when you moved toward the right, blacks got pushed further and further, not to the left, but out. You played the sacrifice. But even though you have suffered and are suffering, yet you are his strongest defender. Though he gives you nothing, he can depend on you to defend him. What is that? Are you sick? Or is there something deep inside you that makes you stand up for one that is being beat down? Because you know about grand jury. You know about somebody hanging you out to dry. Ask the mayor. There never was a public official in history treated like this man was treated until President Clinton. Now, we thought it was bad when they did it to you, Mr. Mayor. But to show you when you do it, sometimes you keep on doing it. Some of the religious leaders saying, yes, we can forgive Mr. Clinton. That's so magnanimous of you. We can forgive him, you say, but there must be consequences. Very good. What about the consequences for slaves? What about the consequences for the murder of the Native American people? What about the consequences for all the treaties that you entered into with them and lied and broke your promise even though you signed it and sealed it with a presidential seal? Are you willing to accept the consequences for your privileged position that put the Native Americans, the blacks, and the indigenous people of the Western Hemisphere in the condition that they remain in today? You don't even have the decency to ask the blacks and the Native Americans for forgiveness. You thought you would like to do it, but somebody told you, don't do that, don't do that. Because if you ask for forgiveness, then they'll talk about reparations. You don't even want to bring up atonement because you know you don't want to pay the price. We can forgive the president, but you say he must pay the price. Self-righteous hypocrite. This is why the president, the Congress, the press, the religious leaders, and the people of this nation and the world are in need of atonement. America must be made to know her sin. She must acknowledge her wrong and confess it openly, then repent of it by turning away from the behavior of American government that has injured so many people. Then she must do that which acts to heal what she has done that is wrong. Then forgiveness, reconciliation can follow, and then unity and harmony with God's self and with those who have been hurt can take place. Since most presidents have had mistresses, and most of them have been adulterers, why is this president singled out to delve into his personal and moral conduct at this time in history? Why is Allah God permitting the president of the greatest and only remaining superpower to be brought before the world in such a humiliating and embarrassing way? Is what he did a high crime and an impeachable offense? Why are the polls suggesting that the American people, though disappointed with aspects of his behavior, yet desire for him to remain in office in spite of his personal conduct? And why is this minority of 30 to 33% that is the most vocal desirous of his impeachment? What do the percentages in the polls teach us? Now, the Democrats can look at Ken Starr's report and throw stones at him, and the Republicans can look at the president and throw stones at him, but let's go up a little higher.